So I got to thinking the other day, what would I tell my 11-year-old self as I was starting out on the guitar, now that I know what I know now? And the first thing I thought of was how to move more gracefully from one chord to the next. Because when I first started, everything up here looked a little bit like alligator wrestling rather than ballet. And the first thing I would do is maybe learn an A chord. And the reason is because E7 is easy. And you'd have two chords. You really need a pair of chords to do anything worthwhile. The other thing you need besides those two chords is how to get from one to the other. Because the chord diagrams are like a snapshot, but music is much more like a movie. So what I would do is I would play the A chord so that my first finger is on the third string. And then I would put the other fingers around it. And I know people do this and that, and I do those things too, but my go-to version has that first finger on the third string at the second fret. It's the same thing you would do if you were going to make like, if you want to sound a little bit more like James Taylor and play a major 7. Now the reason I'm doing that is if I move my first finger to the first fret, I'm all set to play an E7. So all I have to do to go back and forth is scoot that finger, and then my second finger, my middle finger, moves between the fourth and the fifth string. So that's the move right there. And then this finger just gets out of the way for the E7. So it almost looks like I'm not doing anything. Now the first time I try to do that, if you're used to playing it the other way, your hands will kind of look like that. But what you want to work on is going very slowly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get to a point where I've let go of the chord, but my fingers are kind of holding onto the shape here. See, there's no real chord, no pressure. And then I'm going to move that finger and just ooch right over. And now I'm on E7, but I still haven't pressed. So now I'm going to press. So press, release, ooch on over, arrive, still no pressure, pressure, play. And it's weird. You would think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get there? But if you kind of work it slowly and then get it to where your muscles know naturally what to do, they'll just do it. And you'll be able to play jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo and other classics. And just so it's really the way to do that. Now what I'd like to do is I'm going to drop my sixth string down to D. And while it's settling in, I'm going to apply some of that thinking to present world thinking. I'm going to take this D minor chord and I'm going to play it with my pinky on the second string. Most people would play that chord like this, but by doing that I've got some fingers free to make some moves. And here's the move I'm going to make. I'm going to take this F, which is the top note at the first fret on the first string, and move it down an octave so that it's on the D string at the third fret. And if you don't know all these note names, check your tuner. Play the string, your tuner knows the names of all the notes. If it doesn't, put it on eBay. So now I'm going to take that F out, and now I've got D minor looking like this. And with my D string, now I've got it really good. Now, what I'm going to do is I have that chord, and it gives me the freedom to play a scale going up or a scale going down. As a matter of fact, without letting go of these two notes, I can go both up and down. And you see what's happened is I've hung on to these two guys. These guys are guiding me, and meanwhile 1 and 4 are just making their little move. Now these chords, I'm sure they have names. Bob, Henry, whatever. You know, this is like a major 7 and a 9. This is minor 7. And this is really a G13 except T on the bottom. I don't care what they are as much as I care moving gracefully from one to the other. And that's the intro to After Paris, a tune that we'll learn. See you there at Interlochen.